Hi, everybody. This is Dr. J, Professor Spike, and Arjun's back.
And Arjun's back.
Streaming live from Long Island, New York, and I don't know where the hell Arjun is. You're in Seattle?
Seattle. I've moved.
Seattle.
That's why I was
here in Seattle. Congratulations on that.
Arjun is now going to root for the Mariners.
I went to a Mariners game. It's hard to root for them. No one's at the game.
Really? Yeah, you're not going to have that problem when it comes to the Seahawks.
When you applaud, they hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be polite.
It was
try.
fun.
Try.
Well,
I went to a game where they beat the Astros, and so that was fun.
You can certainly root for their football team. Russell Wilson looks like he's going to.
Yeah, Russ.
Yeah,
Good old Russ.
they're good. The Seahawks are good.
Agreed.
I don't know. They don't have a basketball team, do they? I forget.
No basketball. They just got a hockey team back. The Kraken.
What happened to the Supersonics?
Supersonics. Well, they went to Oklahoma.
Oh, did they?
They haven't come back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, Oklahoma is not doing great either.
See how old I am?
What's up?
We're on live and we're shooting the too much of the what. So let's
Shooting
get
the
to
poop.
work. I want to talk about 16 different stocks that I want to chart them quickly just to get a bird's eye view of where we are, and maybe even look at the IWM again, which is again disappointing a lot of people.
Yeah.
Along with the general market. It looks like COVID is having a bigger effect on the markets than a lot of people thought it would. So COVID is back and rearing its ugly head, and it's having an effect on the markets. That's how I see it. This week has been a slow drift down. Professor Omar can't be with us today, but he called me just to tell me beware of a possibility of a flash crash next week as this market begins to sell off. But the good news is he says it'll be short, quick, and then rally again.
How would we know the difference?
It's a good time to be in cash. It's a good time to be in cash, potentially.
He doesn't see it as being the end of the world, but it would scare people. So fasten your seatbelts. If Professor Omar is right, he's talking about maybe a 10% hit in one day on some of the averages. That would be pretty substantial.
So you have to have the cash ready.
Yeah, he's talking about like the IWM going down to 204 and overnight, or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's welcome a few people. Spoon is on with us. Dan is on with us. Ruben's on with us. Andrew's on with us. Night 2 is on with us. P-ing is on with us. P-ing is welcoming Arjun back. And he wanted to know about Drio if there's time.
Drio. Yeah, I'm in Drio, but yeah,
so in
Drio,
that was an Arjun pick.
Yeah, I was back in. I got back in the 10s, but I don't know if we'll have time to get to that.
One of my winners today, GRTS.
Gritstone. I have some Gritstone. Yeah.
P-ing is saying good morning to the world. Well, it may not
Good
be
morning.
morning at all. It's not morning in all parts of the world.
Yeah, true.
It's early morning.
ABDL, October 15th, PDUFA might play that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They know one thing about ABDL. That stock puts me to sleep, doesn't it?
Well, Bloom came off the rose after.
I have an narcolepsy drug that puts me to sleep. Narcolepsy drug. Oh well.
I'm allergic to PDUFAs at this point. PDUFAs just burn people.
A lot of people say I put them to sleep, so that's okay. Jackie's with us today. Eyes on one. All right, so let's get started, Chester.
Let's do it. It's been a while.
Did you want to start with the IWM just to see what's going on, or do you want to do something from your list?
We're going to start with VBIV. Is that good?
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we can start with that.
VBIV
yes,
is selling at the market.
Yes, I'm still in VIVA.
At the market. That's not a good thing when a company sells shares at the market.
There we go.
It's suppressive. So they're looking to raise money. Correct? They're looking to raise money so that they have the money to start manufacturing that COVID vaccine sometime the end of next year. How's that? From an optimistic point of view.
Yeah, that was what that
stock was up today on a down day. Up 14 pennies or 4%. I like that. But, when the stock is up 4% on a down day.
Wait. This is wrong. This is wrong. I'm seeing something different on my screen.
Really?
I'm seeing 325.
Now, unfortunately, I'm seeing 325 as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing stars.
Yahoo, I don't know why Yahoo grabbed an old chart.
Yeah, VBIV. So VBIV, I mean, I'm still in it, obviously. I've been playing this one differently because I've just not trusted any spike anymore. So basically when it dips, I just buy the nearest term, closest in the money call option. And then when it peaks, I just sell it and then buy the corresponding put. So just a yo-yo.
Well,
You're playing the range,
who play the RSI and were long with swinging VBIV until the RSI broke 70, had perfect timing as it broke 70 on the high, a high of 381. And it really hasn't sold off that significantly, but it's enough. From 380 to 323 it's enough. And it was even lower yesterday. It was 318 yesterday. So we're bouncing off the lows, but it's still a red. It's still a red candle, a down day from the open to where we are now, and even down from the close yesterday. So we're sitting at the 200, the 200, the 100, and the 50. Let's see, the 50 is below the 100 and the 200, which are together. That's how it looks at this point. And the 9-day is trading above all the averages, all the other moving averages. So the 9-day. The 9-day was most indicative of the move that it made from the lows of 273 back on August 17th. So that's reflected in the 9-day, because it took about a little more than 9 days to make that move, and now in no time it's giving half of it back, but maybe half is all it's going to give back. I kind of like this now because the bad news is out. It looks like it's trying to make a bottom here.
Yep.
And I'd like to think 318 is going to hold. Yes,
I think it will. Yeah. Okay. And the thing about this stock, if you look at it on a longer term time frame, like 2 years, I'm just noticing this convergence where it can't make higher highs, but it also can't make lower lows. It just keeps going up. It's forming that wedge. So I'm interested at some point the range is going to be too tight to trade in and something has to give.
I see what you're saying on the trading range.
Because it had that 690 and then 520, 480.
weekly, and the weekly shows the low here at 206, and really this high at 431. So the trading range is pretty wide over the last 6 months to a year. Basically, 2 to 4 is the main trading range. It's gotten lower and it's gotten higher, but briefly. So it's clear that $2 to $4 is the main trading range, and it's tested the upper end of this trading range about 2 to 3 months ago at 431, and couldn't get past. And that was a second attempt at it. It also attempted it on a little earlier, 2 weeks earlier, and couldn't make it through that level. So 431 is a very key level. If it takes that out, it can run. So the question is, how long is it going to be in this trading range from 2 to 4? And the answer is probably a while, until we get some really good news, whether it comes in the form of a grant from the Canadian government, or the good news about the trials which have started on COVID-19.
Or a partnership for their glioblastoma or Hep B,
So right now, I think it's safe to say we're in this trading range from 2 to 4. And it's also safe to say that if you want to play it now, it looks like we're just about at a good support level. And if you put in a tight stop at like 310, you might want to take a shot with some call options, or just a swing trade. So I actually am short-term bullish and long-term bullish on this one. And a key level here within this trading range is a narrower trading range at 293. So 293, if it gets below that, then it could drop down to test 200.
That would be trouble.
Yeah, you got a lot of support at 293. If it drops past that, it probably is going to test the 200 at around 240.
Yeah.
So what is it, 200?
Yeah, the way I see it is, I think that this convergence, it's converging on news. That my guess is, like, once the trading range gets really tight, something's going to come out. I think within a month or two, we'll hear something.
Have you thrown in a Bollinger Band just to look at the variance, standard deviation?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, if I had more time, I would do it, but I want to look at a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, we've spent too much time, but I'd say nibble.
When you get a chance on this one, if you think it's trading in a narrow range, throw in a Bollinger Band just to see if it's narrow.
It is, I'm looking.
If it's narrow, then it means they're quite likely to explode one way or the other. All right. I don't use Bollinger Bands very often, unless I think you have this narrowing of the trading range, and you expect it to get back to normal. So the Bollinger Band easily shows that. Let's look at elbow. I don't usually use it, but once in a while I'll look at it. Elbow.
Yeah, elbow I'm more confident in long. I just think that it's only had good news, so it's just kind of a waiting game. But
well, you're talking about trading range. We've rarely been in a trading range since 2020.
Yeah.
So for a full year, we've been basically in not a very big trading range. Let's look at the picture again when it reloads.
Yeah, this one I'm trying to just buy or sell puts when it gets to like 28-ish.
High of 43, and we're right near the lows. The lows of the trading range have been $28, $27. So 27 to 43, 16 points. And we're certainly at the bottom of that trading range, which might mean it's a good time to pick up some shares and start and accumulate if you're willing to hold this.
You have a lot of touches of that bottom. You could argue that's a triple bottom.
This is key level of support. There's no question about it. That 27, 28, 27.
So I like adding. Yeah.
Yeah, you looks very much like all you have is 10% downside.
Yep.
And unlimited upside, really. But realistically, if you want to talk about upside in the next few years, probably $75.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't see it being like a super duper potential mover, but I think the downside is very low, limited, and the upside you can easily get a double within a couple of years, or more than a double. So I like it. I like it in the long term. I don't mind it in the short term either, and I don't mind holding it. And you could write calls against your position. You can try to generate some income. I like it. What's the next one on the list? I want to go through the 16 stocks today.
You want to do edit next?
I don't remember what I wrote. I wrote SABA.
Okay.
We'll get at it. I want to stick to it in order.
All these AD.
I'm just pulling off your list, Dr. J.
Yeah, all these AD stocks have just been brutalized.
Now, Professor Omar is very negative. This one, as is a lot of people on our board, including Jiggly the other day, because clearly the CEO messed up big time by saying, "Therefore, I am. I think it'll be good. I think the slides
I believe.
I think the data is good. What is this? I think no, not I think.
Exactly. Have some conviction.
Just one word to stock tumbling. Yeah, one word sent to stock tumbling. But really, there was an essay article. I think it was essay recently about someone with no position who claimed neutrality was very suspect of the slides by this CUNY professor who's doing the research pre-trial research, the clinic laboratory research on this. He was very critical about some of the slides where there was a claim that in several cases this occurred, but the slides looked like from the same cut rather than
somebody explained it away anyway. They said they were from adjacent slices, so they should look alike.
Now, on the other hand, we know that CUNY professors are totally honest, so they don't fight.
Yeah, they're notoriously honest as the day is long.
Honest as the day is long, so probably nothing to worry about. So we have this long-term trend line on the weekly, and we did cross it, but we're saved by the 50. By the 50. What you want to do is get above this trend line again.
Right.
A couple of times below it, but it never broke it. So we don't want to sever that trend line. We want to at least touch it. A complete break of that trend line, and that's not good. A break of the 50, and break of the 50 probably would mean that the next shoe dropped, The FDA is announcing a halt of the trials pending clarification or something. But on the other hand, you can doubt the veracity of this lawsuit, because any lawsuit on the behalf of anonymous citizens is highly dubious to me. What's with the anonymous?
Yeah.
Why anonymous? Maybe it's Biogen that's behind it. Maybe maybe it's Biogen and Lilly, seeing SABA as potential competition. It could go either way. And right now, this at $50 overnight could become 25, or overnight could become 100. So this is very risky to hold. It's a crapshoot at this point.
Yeah. For me, it's a stay away. All AD is a stay away for me.
Well, you know what I kind of like on this? I think it's going to make a big move one way or the other. So this looks like a good straddle.
You could straddle, yeah.
Yeah, you do a 3-month straddle on this one. My recommendation: look at the options, see what the prices on the straddle are. Okay.
But you know what? I think the float might be too low on this. I don't even know if options exist. I'll take a look.
I don't know either. I don't know. But if
no, never mind. I was mixing it up. Novus doesn't have options, but SABA, SABA has options. Okay.
And I'm sure if they have options, like you say they do, then they probably traded a lot because of the potential volatility.
Yeah.
No doubt.
XCRS is a request, so I'm gonna look at it.
Oh yeah.
I'm staying with the weekly for a little bit, and if I want to switch to the daily, I will. I'm keeping one eye on the time, one eye out on the time. So XCRS is down.
It had good news,
it's
and then it went down off the good news.
Yeah. Well, that new good news wasn't that good news. It was good.
Yeah, it was okay.
Relatively good. And they're doing some kind of merger that's halfway complete. But I just want to stick to the chart more or less. I don't want to talk about fundamentals that I don't know too much about. So 220 looks like a clear bottom here. 228, 220, 215, this area. 3 weeks
you could
in a
swing.
row test.
You could swing this maybe.
The thing is, right now it looks like it's going down to retest that level.
Right.
So in a weak market, you probably don't want to swing it. This is one of these long-term holds. So what you might want to do, instead of swing it, is just start nibbling at it keep with the point of view of holding it, if you believe in the fundamentals, and at the same time adding significantly right around this mark of 220, 225. If it gets to the 225 area, and you believe in this stock, it looks like a great time to add.
Yeah.
On the long term. So let me take a look at the daily.
It needs to prove that this downtrend is over.
Yeah, I mean, right now it doesn't look like an attractive time to enter. It looks like it might even want to fill this gap.
Yeah,
at 220. So dangerous time to enter. The market is looking iffy, and this one is looking iffy as well in terms of the chart. So if you want to enter this for a long-term trade, the best way to do it, in my opinion, is a tiny bit at a time and a whole lot more at around 220, 225, 220, something like that. So that's how I would play it if I had long ideas about XCR. S. I wouldn't buy too much just yet. I would wait. Again, I don't know about the merger and all of that, and the fundamentals. I'm just looking at the chart here, and that's telling me to wait. BCRX has been very quiet, and I'm making out very well on my what do they call it? I guess they call it a collar. I'm in a collar.
Yeah, is that where you sell puts and sell calls?
Yes, and you own underlying stocks. So I'm selling calls, and I'm selling the close.
Yeah, I mean this one. This one's been bouncing around in a range too.
Here's exactly what I did. I bought twice as many calls as puts. So I'm doing very well on my covered calls, but at the same time, I'm also losing a little bit on the price of the stock. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to close my position early or not. I might, because I might just buy back my calls, because I've made a lot of money on that, and leave my put position alone. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do, because I don't mind owning it below 15. That's why, when you feel that way, it's a good time to write the put. I like it long term. I think 21 is a realistic target. That was the latest analyst prediction for was a buy with a target of 21. I like that reasoning. I think certainly by the end of the year, we could be back up to around 21. So I like this one in the medium term, and probably the long term. I think it's a quality company. So if you're out of it, I'd be looking to get back into it. The other day it hit a low 14.57.
Yeah.
14.57. 14 looks like a firm bottom. So if you want to get back into it, I think the 14s are attractive. Get back into 14. I think it's a good time to get back in.
I agree with your strategy. I think that selling covered calls on every spike makes sense, because I think it's going to take a lot for it to bust through that 1850. And then, I mean, if you sell puts every time it drops below 15, I think you'll make money.
I've been making out like a bandit, writing the calls and writing the puts. So I'm generating a lot of income for myself rather than just sit with the stock. I'm very happy how it's working out for me personally.
Because this stock, the premiums on the options are just so much better than most. They're huge. People get super bullish. Yeah,
I got 90 cents on my.
It's better to be on the other side of those trades.
Exactly.
I
Sell.
90 cents on short-term calls, in September, not too long ago.
Oh yeah, and when you have a bunch of contracts, that adds up quick. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's important to have your butt covered, and Dr. J's doing it in the way that keeps his butt covered.
Yep, I agree with everything you're doing on BCRX.
Moderna, thank goodness, I started buying this one heavily at about 350. I was kicking myself all along while I sold it at 180. It took me. I let it double again before I got back in, but it's kind of saving me on an iffy market. I've taken hits on a Novus, SABA, recently on HGen, and I've gotten hurt today a little bit on NovaVax. So I've been taking some punishment, but Moderna is it made me some money. So and Amazon has made me some money.
Yeah, this is
So those
gonna
two
start
have
to just trade. This is gonna start to just trade like a FANG eventually. Like it's just a perfect chart. Yeah,
It's
it looks so good.
also seems to be a company that actually has potential to cure things, unlike so many other companies. This mRNA technology is unbelievable.
Yeah, they have the pipeline. Yeah, if that 496 gets taken out, that's gonna just go forever.
They're rumored to take out Editas in
Yep.
buyout.
Really?
And it makes perfect sense because then they would combine the mRNA technology with gene editing. I think they'll cure every disease between the two companies.
I think that in general, we're going to see an uptick in biotech M&A because of how cheap a lot of these small and mid caps are. Like the XBI beating, I think is going to lead to some really good acquisition. Like the way Trillium got bought. I think we're going to see more of those.
Provided Bernie Sanders, AOC, and some of the more liberal Democrats don't kill the drug prices completely.
And I think we're a ways away from that, but that's possible. Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, but preventing these little guys from becoming solvent.
If it costs so much money to bring a drug to market, or in a 10-year period of time on average, I mean, you got to get the incentive has to be there, otherwise forget it. Not everybody is Dr. Jonas Salk and doesn't care about money.
Right. Polio vaccine. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. But I mean, when are you adding here? Every time it touches that trend line up?
I've just been adding every day. Every day since 3.
Well, when are you like really adding though? That trend line touch? Or it doesn't matter. You just add whenever.
Going forward, when it closes this gap, it'll close this gap on weakness.
Yeah, that's what I think. Maybe like 430, 425 you want to add. Yeah.
425. Something like 420 maybe.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I would be looking to add. I'm not selling my position, any of it. So in case I'm wrong, I'll let it go up. But I would add more. I haven't added much more lately, but I would add more. Maybe probably calls here make sense. Actually, calls and puts. I would write a ratio of 2 calls to every put, right about here, and I would do it in the short term. I think short term.
Well, are you a buyer or seller of these options now?
If you do a 1 month put call strategy, you could make out both ways. So it's interesting.
You could even do it weekly. You could do it weekly on this stock, probably.
Yeah, but I like the monthly. I want a little more time, catch both ends.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you buy the put and you buy the call, not write them, but buy them. 2-to-1 ratio. So I would go 2 calls for every put.
So it's like a bullish. Is that a collar? No, that's not a collar.
No, it's just a straight straddle.
A straddle, yeah, because you're buying both, yeah.
If you're buying, it's a straddle.
Okay, but it's a bullish straddle because you're doubling the long exposure. Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm going twice as many calls.
So it sounds like every time it dips down, like when it dips down to 420, 425, buy 2 calls, sell 1 or buy 1 put. That sounds good.
I really think this is very good support right here at 438 to 420.
Yeah.
438. If it gets to 438, it'll probably fill the gap at 420. So, there could be short-term weakness. That's why I would go 2-to-1 ratio. I like the Momo going forward, but I would protect myself with the put. Next on my list is BNTX, another mRNA play. But they're no Moderna. Moderna has come to the forefront of attention, whereas BNTX, you could argue they're ahead of Moderna in that their approval for the boosters, together with Pfizer, is going to happen before, and their approval to administer to children will probably happen before. So this is a very bullish scenario as well. BNTX and Pfizer. Of course, Pfizer, you get the smaller move and the smaller move in either direction because they're a huge company with many drugs. But look at the rounded bottom that they're coming off of here.
Beautiful.
And even though we're up today, I still think up over the last few days from a low of 320 to 355. I still think it's very playable here. And if it closes the gap here from yesterday to 336, I think it's definitely worth jumping in. Yeah, very good support at the low of the day 4 days ago, 320. So I like this one as well. You can play it for a swing up to 388. That's the resistance level. So why not? If it comes back down to fill that gap, definitely worth a swing, whether you use options or just straight out. It looks like it's a good play to me. So another one I'm bullish on, BNTX, very bullish.
Nice.
Short term, probably, and long term, but not as bullish as I am Moderna. NVAX. NovaVax. Of course, Moderna could wind up buying any one of those gene editing companies, and NTLA, even Crispr. They're now cash rich. Moderna. Okay, so NovaVax is down 4% today. I don't know what the news was. They're delayed in Australia with their trials.
Yeah. This one I would be more careful. This one I'd be more careful with, I think.
More volatile than some.
Yeah,
that's certainly the case.
But it's got a very nice chart. I know it's down today to the 9, but even on one day drop, it might be worth playing. But if you want to look for a little further bargain, I think 242, that area, right the low of the day on Tuesday.
Yeah. So, I would like to see more confirmation of that bottom.
Right here, 242 is being watched very carefully. This looks like a very logical place for it to stop going down. So I might look to put in a good till cancel buy order at around 240, 250, something like that. Crispr, and I own this one, but I might add more at that level.
855. All right, I gotta go, but I'll be back next week. Good stuff.
Thank you for coming back. Arjun back. Arjun is back.
All right. Have a good week.
Boy, I thought he'd never leave.
Let's see if we can write this up quickly. Crispr, Beam, Edit, NEU, C-TEC, HN, definitely got a lot to go.
Crispr softened. Crispr's not so crisp. It's been softening over the last couple of sessions.
Crispr chart has not been great. I have to admit it.
I know.
This low is still good, 115.60. So that's the area that it could pull back to. And it looks like the way it's been trading, it looks like it will.
Looks like what?
It looks like it will retest this 115 area. So it could even retest the low from here, 113.34. So where I see it stopping on a decline is somewhere between 115 and 113.
Yeah,
So
it's got to hit a home run in the news.
There is room to buy. There is time to buy Crispr if you're looking to get into what could be one of the most exciting biotechs of the next 5 years. So long term, these kind of numbers like 115 is going to look super cheap, in my opinion. So right now, it's a little bit weak, the chart. Time to take advantage. The next
Now,
one
of those plays, the NTLA, the Edit, the Crispr, and the Beam, all those guys, which one is your favorite?
Well, we're going to look at the Beam and we're going to look at Edit. Then we'll get a better idea. Crispr is my favorite.
Right. And NTLA is one that you haven't discussed in a while, also.
Yeah, I still own that.
Even if you just have an audible about it.
I own them all. So I own them all. But the biggest position is Crispr, my biggest position.
No, me too.
Beam has been behaving very nice. Notice the high back here from August was taken out. The 111.03 was taken out on 8/12, 111.61, and now we took that out just 2 days ago. We hit a high of 116.91. So we're making higher highs. The chart looks really good with the 9 above the 50, above the 100, above the 200. This is a buy on any pullback. So this is a very strong chart. Buy on any pullback. And we have a recent trend line.
Soma's been covering this a lot.
A recent trend line that's heading in the right direction. I won't talk about the slope, but it's heading in the right direction. Look at all the touches of this trend line.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's a positively trending.
It's a positive slope.
Positive slope. So it's basically at trend line support. You can buy it now. Look, you could have bought it a lot lower today at 106. But it's too late. But you can still buy it because what's $3 when the potential?
Oh, you're right there in the middle of that red candle, so it's a good spot.
If you're willing to wait on these gene editing stocks, you can make a lot of money as a long-term investor.
I'm gonna have to find some. I'm gonna have to find some money after that flash crash that Professor.
Well, Professor Omar is not saying we're going to have one. He says we're on like hurricane.
But I mean, it was just interesting to hear his turnaround because he and I have been on different ends of the spectrum looking at IWM.
You know how the weather people talk about hurricane watch? It's the same idea.
Yes, indeed. I got you.
We're on a flash crash watch.
All right.
Flash crash watch. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but we're on alert.
True. And a lot of people in the chat are talking about melt ups, so maybe that'll happen after the crash.
That's what Professor Omar is thinking.
Yeah, it makes some sense. You know, I think we're gonna end the year out from here.
Flash crash before the melt up. We've been melting up. What do you think this is?
Well, you've been melting up.
Been a melt up.
I've been soft like crisp.
if you own the
I
S&P
still own a lot of that old
500,
crap that we talked about a year ago.
if you own the diamonds, if you own the Qs, you've been melting up. If you own the IWMs, you've been going nowhere fast.
Right.
Editas,
Editas.
rumored to be a takeout target along with NTLA. I mean, I don't see why not. They're in the right. They're into gene editing. They got a lot of pipeline, a big pipeline. Of course, it's most of their stuff is early phase 1, but it certainly has a strong chart, very strong ascending channel, very strong. So you buy this one on weakness, any weakness. So if you look for the trend line support here, you're looking at about $64, which you could have bought it at just yesterday. It was a low of 63, 63. You know, if you're looking at $64, 65, 66, doesn't matter much if you're going to be holding this, as opposed to trading it. You know, you don't have to get the perfect trade to make money. So this one is an extremely good chart, an extremely good company. Let's go on to look at.
Did you want to do NTLA since we're doing this topic or no?
Which one?
NTLA. Did you want to at least look at it?
Why not?
I mean, since we're talking about them, we might as well be complete.
Ah, that's so. $162 up $1.50 or 0.93% today. It also has a similar looking candle today as Edit. It was much lower today, I think 157. This one bounces around quite a bit. I think there's usually a big spread between the bid and the ask. So it traded several points lower today, as low as 157.34, 5 points lower than where it's trading at now. And do you buy it now? Again, you can buy it and hold it. All of these.
The channel's there. It's at the bottom of it.
I feel the same way about all of these gene editing stocks. Are all excellent plays. One of them may emerge as the next Amazon. So that several of them will do very well, but one of them might emerge as the next Amazon, while one or two of them may go away, not make it.
Gotcha.
So, that's why it's good just to own them all, I think. We have resistance at 180. So that's where the resistance is. We're certainly in a rising trend line. I think it's a very good buy even here. And what's my next one? Any and you. How much time have we got?
Well, we're at 48, so you didn't want to. You want to make it somewhat short and sweet.
I'm not going to be able to do all of them.
Yeah, so pick one of your favorites.
C-TEC.
There you go.
This one has been making me money lately, so I feel good about it. It's up another penny to 315. It's come off the 9 and it's trading higher than the 9. The 9 is above the 200. It's above the 50 is above the 100. So the 200 is out of position, so to speak. It's not the perfect bullish chart, but we're trading above the 200, which is good. We're trading the 50 is heading up, which is good. Maybe not too long from now we'll cross the 200. Don't forget the PDUFA at the end of November on their MF drug. They also have 2 other shots on goal, one with a pacritinib for COVID, for sick COVID patients, to stop them from getting on the ventilator. And also, is it that favorite disease that I always forget? Is it host versus graft or graft versus host?
Oh, that's right. It's graft versus host.
Yeah, I think they're into that as well. So it's 3 shots on goal. The first shot on goal is coming up soon in November. The chart has been on fire. This stock has been on fire since August 20th, when it bottomed at 250. So we're on fire here. Buy the dips, and I think we get a run to PDUFA, $4 to $5 before PDUFA. And now let's look at HGen, which is the disaster du jour. Actually, yesterday I got clobbered, and Professor Omar said he saw it coming in the charts. He forgot to tell me though.
Well, you should be on StockTwits because he never shuts up on that.
Well, what do we have? We have a series of low highs. That's what we have, and that's not good. So to that extent, I should have been a little more vigilant.
Are you still holding the bag on this one or no?
Yeah, well, the bag only collapsed yesterday. I haven't had a chance to catch my breath yet. I should have been out of it yesterday on the rebound, but I'm not. So at this point, I'm not sure whether I'm going to get out of it. I may just be a long-term bag holder. It's an interesting level that it touched today because the recent low on 819 was, I'm sorry, before it collapsed, it came down to the recent low. Yeah.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how'd you like to play?
To me, it looked like it was a time to buy, not sell, as it hit support.
Right,
but
exactly.
The key here is look below. There's nothing below, you see? That's the key. So that was the danger. If it busted that low, there was nothing but air below. And let's look at the 3 weekly to see it differently.
Well, then you're just gonna hide the impact.
Yeah, I mean, it could have certainly stopped at 1232, but it didn't. So it took out everything. It took out the low, even of 11.9 of 775. So where's support now? If you want to hold this thing, you're looking at way back here. Back in May of 2020, it was $4.20. So that's ugly.
Oh, everything old is new again.
Gives me a little nausea looking at this chart. It gets me a little nauseous. It's very ugly.
Yeah.
So at this point, being that I don't know what to do with my own shares, I'm not going to give anybody my opinion because I haven't formulated.
You either take your lumps or you.
Or you hold.
I mean, nothing else to do. You can hold for comeback.
You hold for further lumps.
Right.
DMTK. And we'll end with this.
Okay. Yeah, Dermot said good.
A little bounce.
Yeah, people are getting confused about what to do with this guy. You know, it was going sky high.
Because it's trading in very, very narrow trading range. Narrow trading range.
Are you on the weekly or the month or the daily on this one?
I think I'm in the weekly. I'll take a look at both. I'm sorry we couldn't get to you and Eddie. I'm going to leave them out.
Yeah, we'll do it another time.
Yeah. All right, so this is the weekly, and you see we're banging up against the top, the resistance of $38.97, $39. So we need to take out $39. On the downside, if you're short, you want to take out $31. So you got support at about $31, and you got resistance at about $39, and we're trading pretty much in between. Let's take a look at the daily. Okay, so we've come off the high of $39 just last Friday. So we tested it and failed. We flunked the test. Now we have to regroup and test it again and test that level again. In the meanwhile, we have support at this low, 34.12 short-term support. So the daily gives you a shorter picture, so that if you want to play
You really just change the slope of that curve. It's still positive.
Yeah. What I want to do is draw the line right in here. $34 is it's a little support right in there. So $34 is a very key level here. If that gets taken out, you could be testing that $31 level. So it's a nice candle today, which is good. But you just got to be careful that down here at
it's covering half the distance. It's covering half the distance of the previous candle, which is decent news.
Yeah, which may mean that it's going to go back down. We don't know.
Oh, is that usually it bounces off of those?
Yeah, because it got back half of what it gave up yesterday.
Right, I got you.
That might just be it. Now continue on down.
Understood.
So right now it's an iffy chart. All I can say is it's an iffy chart at this point. I like the company fundamentally, though. I do think down the road they will catch on with their PLA, pigmented lesion assay for melanoma. So here's a case where I like the fundamentals and I don't love the chart.
Right.
We're going to
we've been there before.
We're going to call it a day here. Magnificent
Yes,
dance is with us.
Well, this was good. We got through a lot. And we got to see Arjun again.
Jiggly needs constant action. He can't stay on the side.
Yeah, he's been, people have been giving him advice. He's been taking it here and there in terms of what people have to say. So I'm sure he'll be happy with what the session has provided.
M&A says about SABA before we end the show.
Yeah, well, he's very optimistic about SABA. I'm not telling you.
Hey, this is nice. I like that MA is optimistic because most people that are viewing the show have been very negative on SABA, thinking that the next shoe is going to fall. But MA says, and I'm going to read this, people who are long SABA have no idea just how much it's worth if they're thinking of selling it. Now, keep in mind, our opinions are strictly our own and do not constitute investment advice. That goes for our viewers. Check with an advisor before acting. As always, take everything on this show as Dr. J and Professor Spike and get friends opinions.
Yes,
just opinions. Check it out on your own. And please subscribe so you don't miss a show. Tell your friends about us. Give us those thumbs up. Join our magnificent erudite chat group. We've got the chat group. So thank you all for coming. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, MA. Thank you, Jiggly. Thank you. Thank you. We got Dan. Thank Dan. Who else is with us? Whoever came. I'm not going to look through everybody. But
yes, thank you all. All 27 of you.
Everyone, have a great weekend. Regroup for next week. Let's have a great
Good.
week next week.
Right. Good
Ciao.
weekend.